Valentin Marinoiv, 22 years old, from Rus in Bulgaria, 20 fights, 7 wins, 12 defeats and a draw. Has been out of action for a little while, hasn't fought since November the 22nd last year. He was stopped in a round by Ryan Burnett in Belfast. He's been stopped also by the likes of Ian Butcher, Ryan Doyle, Marco McCulloch, Charlie Hoy, Brad Watson, so he's been in with a lot of British fighters, has gone all the way with Ross Birkinshaw, the now WBO European bantamweight champion, who won that Commonwealth title, of course, Luke Wilton and Liam Hanrahan. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of a test he puts up for Josh Kennedy.
And please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring. Here is Josh Kennedy.
Well, Josh Kennedy, 23 years old, has put on a coach tonight. He's brought 100 tickets, 100 fans from Folkestone. He reckons he could sell out a venue in his home city. He was a decorated amateur, particularly as a junior, decided to turn over and go pro. Made his debut here on December the 13th. It lasted just 33 seconds against Sergei Zlogins, putting him down twice in that time. So it'll be interesting to see what he's got tonight, chaps. So when you turn over to the professional ranks, particularly when you've done well in the amateurs, maybe it could be a little bit frustrating at times if you don't get around it early.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I turned over to the amateurs, I never really had that problem. I punched like a girl, so I never had that sort of dilemma. But yeah, I can imagine that he wants to try out everything that he's been taught by his trainer. You know, the pros and the amateurs are two different sports, so I can see why he's frustrated. But hopefully this guy gives him a few rounds tonight and he gets to try a few of his new moves out.
Chris, always good to get a stoppage on the board early, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't know much about it, to be honest. I've not done many myself, but definitely when you're starting a career, you can't get away from the fact everyone loves excitement and knockouts are exciting. So yeah, big thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Our first contest of the evening. Scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing in the super bantamweight division. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the black and white trunks. This man brings with him into the boxing ring record of 7 wins, opposite 12 defeats and 1 draw. He weighed in 8 stone 13 and 1/2 pounds. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Fighting out of Rus, Bulgaria, make some noise for Valentin Marinoiv. And his opponent, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black and gold trunks. This man brings with him into the boxing ring record 1 win, opposite no defeats, with that 1 win coming by way of knockout. He weighed in 8 stone 13 and 3/4 pounds. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Fighting out of Kent in the United Kingdom, make some noise for Josh Kennedy. Our timekeeper of this bout, Mr. Nick White, and when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mr. Marcus McDonald.
Well, Josh Kennedy's gone for an interesting look here, hasn't he, boys? Wouldn't you say? The kind of split skirt look and facial hair arrangement. Tempted by that next time, Danny?
I like the shorts, to be fair. I've got a pair like that myself. Well, I think I've got a few pairs like that. But yeah, it's nice. It stands out from the crowd. I'm not too sure about the tash, but it looks like Spike O'Sullivan. But yeah, I like the shorts.
Kennedy quickly into centre ring, snapping out the jab, doubling it up.
See, he's not afraid to let his shots go, Josh Kennedy here. Keep him busy.
I think that right hand early door just hurt him over the year there. Not nice to be hit there, especially early on.
High on the head, it did seem to have an impact, and he's just picking the punches at the moment, and Marinoiv goes down. His feet went out from underneath him very, very quickly there. He was back to his feet fairly quickly, looking straight at Marcus McDonald, who gets up to 8. He's looking towards his corner. I'm not sure if he fancies too much more of this, if I'm honest. No. Josh Kennedy could be in for another early night here.
I thought that as well. He don't look like he wants anything at all to be any part of this. That was only a grazing shot, you know, caught him on the top of the head, and it seemed like he wanted to go down, if I'm brutally honest. But I don't think this one will last much longer if he keeps sticking with that attitude.
Oh.
He weren't even, I'm not being funny, he weren't even caught the shot there, you know, it caught him on the top of the head. You know,
sure, I thought I saw a lovely uppercut straight from the guard there, personally. I'll have to see it again on the replay, I might be wrong. You don't think so?
No, I don't think that shot caught him, but...
He's a good actor.
Yeah. Well, Marinoiv back on his feet anyway. Kennedy just measuring with that jab. He's found the distance immediately here. He's not got too much opposition standing in his way. I think we can safely say that from the evidence of the first half of this round.
I think this fight's going to last as long as Kennedy allows it to last. I'll be very, very surprised if he gets out the second or even the first.
Yeah, I think as soon as Kennedy lands clean, this fella's going to look for an exit. As soon as he lands, well, not even clean, as soon as he lands anything half sensible, it'll be over, I think. Looks like he's having a bit of a walk now, like he wants to get a few rounds in.
I think you're right, just settling down, not really letting the punches go, just snapping out that jab, then following in with the right hand. That's not a knockdown as he looked to close in there. Marcus McDonald just wiping the gloves clean. Won the Junior ABAs, Josh Kennedy. Southern Counties titles, Haringey Box Cups, boxed for England. Ranked 5th in GB when he turned professional.
I remember him as an amateur, Josh Kennedy. He weren't a bad amateur. If I'm right, I remember him boxing Mitchell Smith. I think Mitchell Smith beat him. But yeah, I remember it. It was a few years back that was. But yeah, he's mixed in good company in the amateurs. So early on in the pros, unless he fights anyone sort of half sensible, I think he'll have it all his own way until he steps up.
Well, another count there from referee Marcus McDonald, and Kennedy just chasing Marinoiv around the ring at the moment.
It looks like Marinoiv might have got out the first round with only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, he don't. Yeah, that's a surprise. He don't fancy it, this Marinoiv. He hasn't thrown a shot the whole round.
Kennedy just switching to southpaw right at the very end of the round, so he had that all his own way, as we suspected he might. And that was the punch right at the start there, Chris, that you picked out that seemed to catch him high on the head around the temple.
Yeah, I think that was what actually buzzed him before he went down. I think he was still a bit shaken up from that shot.
Well, you were right, there was the uppercut, sneaked right up between the guard.
I'm not having it. That I can see that close. That weren't a clean shot. It come up through the middle, but that weren't a shot that would put you over, I'm telling you. Listen,
might not put you over, Dan.
I'm telling you, mate, these fellas come over here for a few quid sometimes, and that's what he's in here for.
Well, just looking at that corner between rounds, the Marinoiv corner, they're trying to offer him some kind of encouragement. His trainer just gives him a pat on the shoulder as he comes out for the second round.
It's not the face of a man with too much ambition there. Looks very dejected sitting in the corner. He's actually thrown some shots to start the round though.
Interesting training situation he's got, Josh Kennedy. He still works with his amateur coaches, Harry Slater and Barry Pluck. He's got Charlie Rumbles in his corner tonight because neither of the aforementioned gentlemen have got professional licences, and Marinoiv goes down again, and Marcus McDonald has waved the fight off. He really had very, very little choice.
He's not, listen, he's not bothered about that. You know what I mean? Good luck, well done, Josh Kennedy. You know what I mean? He went out and he'd done everything that he had to do, but that guy was poor. That was a poor opponent there. But, you know, look, you can only deal with what's in front of you, can't you? And he's gone out there and done a job on him, turned the trick inside 2 rounds, so fair play to him. Well done to the lad.
Well, he does feel that he wants to move quickly. I was speaking to him during the week. We saw Jazza Dickens win the British title against Josh Whale last week. The Southern Area title is vacant, and he feels really that he could take on anyone for that if they can find someone to fight him for it, really, and then just step up to levels beyond that if he can. Dickens also the English champion, which you'd imagine he'll vacate now. Marcus McDonald just waiting in the centre of the ring for our 2 fighters before we get the official announcement.
Yeah, he done the business there. Do you know what I mean? He did do well and went out and stopped him. Like I said, you can only beat what's in front of you. But it just seemed to me that he was a bit intent on getting out of there as soon as possible. Really, you know. Look, I ain't being funny, but that weren't even a big shot. Do you know what I mean? But listen, he done the job. So fair play to the lad, and be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Well, let's get the official announcement now from Brett Hollywood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 22 seconds. In the second round, as our referee Marcus McDonald declares your winner by TKO, Josh Kennedy.
2 fights, 2 wins then on the roster now for Josh Kennedy. And as we've been saying, it'll be interesting to see what Steve Goodwin and the team look to do with him from here on in as he poses for a few photos. Let's just quickly catch up with you two and see what's new, see what's next on the boxing agenda. Danny, you first.
I'm next out May the 16th on a Goodwin Promotions bill. I think that's promoted by Olivia and Josh. We're not too sure on the opponent yet, but it's for a title over 10 rounds. And hopefully...
What? Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Chris?
I was supposed to watch last week, in fact, and I've got it all week before the fight, so never got the scuppers on there. I'm waiting for another, for the full shot at the Southern Area title, which is, it's been my dream since I turned pro, so I'm still waiting to see what's happening with Freddie Turner. Hopefully he gets his shot at the British or the English, and I'll step in and fight for the vacant, or I'll fight Freddie again for it, whatever happens.
Our next fight up will be 4 3-minute rounds at cruiserweight between Jose Lopez and Marco Rupic. We saw Jose Lopez here last time on the Fight Pass mid-December against John Weeks. John Weeks came with some ambition to that fight, said a few things in the bill that didn't really manage to deliver too much. Lopez being trained by Don Charles. He's looked good in the gym when I've seen him. And Sophia now is ringside with Josh Kennedy.
Congratulations, that's a second knockout in your second pro fight. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, I am. I'm really pleased with myself. You know, I trained hard for this fight, so I deserved a stoppage. But I'm really happy with myself. Thank you.
It only took you 33 seconds in your last fight. Can you learn much from these fights, or?
Well, I got a bit excited in my first fight. Obviously, I had a lot of fans here, but I slowed the pace down a little bit this time. But again, it was obviously too much pace for my opponent. So.
You definitely had a great following tonight.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't live anywhere near the venue. It's about 70 miles. So to get all these people come up to watch me, you know, I'm gobsmacked. You know, I love it. It's amazing.
Well, you're an exciting prospect for them. Well done tonight.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Sophia. Let's push on with